Alright, and welcome back. It's the Code of Noob again. This time we're going to take care of the bullet, the projectile, the dropper, spawning in the objects, alright? So, first thing I'm going to create is a game object, a cube. I'm going to use a trigger for this one, okay? I'm going to have the trigger fire off the bullets for us. So as soon as the platforms come this way and pass through the trigger, we'll just fire them off. So it doesn't matter if the some of you were, I guess, wondering why not use like a ray cast from the bottom of this. Well, no, because then we want them to still fire off a bullet even when the platform is not directly underneath them. So if a platform just passes by, it should still fire off a bullet. That way it becomes challenging, and if they miss the platform and the bullet just passes through, it'll be like a game over kind of thing. Alright, so we'll make this a little bit bigger. Alright, about that big, and on, and then boom. Alright, it's like our trigger. We need to go this way. We can go down. You know, the platform is not going to be that high, but it's not going to be that low either. And then just for, you know, just thinking ahead in case we create more and different spawning areas, just make that longer. Right. Check the rendering on it off. We don't need to see it. And also in the box collider, you make sure you set it to is trigger, which means things can pass through it. Alright, let's call this one the bullet manager. Why not? And we'll do the same for the script. It's time to create a script. Right click, create C# script. I'm gonna create one called bullet. We're gonna need two. Double click on it. And all we're gonna do in the bullet is, where's the movement script? This. That's all we're gonna do in the bullet. Copy this, put it in the bullet. Remove all that. We don't need that, and it's done. Let's create a sphere as well. Right when Unity's done processing, let's just create a sphere. And there it is, and that's our bullet. We'll put our script on it and go to Fabs folder and just wait. Let's name it bullet, and just drag it and drop it in there. So it has a script that will destroy it after a few seconds. Oh, we need a rigid body on it. So rigid body, use gravity check. Just update that prefab and delete it. Alright, so the bullet itself is taken care of. This is what we're going to use to spawn it. So back to script, and this will be our bullet spawner. Create this in our script folder. Bullet spawner. Be sure to slow this down if I'm going a little too fast. Double click on bullet spawner, open it up. Here we are. So we've created 5 scripts so far, and this is almost, well, I think this is the last script we'll create. We can just use this to build upon, okay? So in this script, we just need a trigger and a couple of variables, right? So we don't need any of this. Let's get some variables, okay? First of all, speed, okay? So we'll make a float. Sorry, can't spell float. Yeah, speed, exactly as I called it. Let's just create another, and this is gonna be public, but we need to know where we're shooting this from. It should be that spout of the player. I'm just gonna call it spout. That's where we're gonna shoot it from. And then, of course, what are we shooting? So it's gonna be a game object. This will be the bullet. Projectile. Done deal. Now in Visual Studio, you can type on trigger enter, and you kind of like it creates the variable for you, the function for you. Boom, done. All right. So first things first, the platforms need to be able to trigger the bullet, so we got to check to make sure it is the platform, because if we leave it as blank, then even the bullets will trigger the bullet, and then the thing will just keep firing as soon as one of them fire down and touches that platform. So we use that for later, because if a bullet touches the platform, we can probably do like a game over, which means they miss, and we'll figure that out. So let's check other. You can see here that whatever item, like whatever game object that collides or enters this trigger area will be represented by other. So it could be anything else. So other is the variable that we're using to represent the object that is triggering, not this one, but the other object. So if the other object, other.gameObject.tag equals that, we're gonna give those platforms each, give it a tag, so they all will be tagged with plat. We haven't done that yet, but we're just setting up for it. Then we will go ahead and instantiate a projectile. That's the name of it. That's the name that we're calling the bullet. So we just created it as a game object. You can say instantiate blah 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 like we did in here to just create it, because we're gonna use it afterwards. We're gonna access the rigid body that's on it and give it like a motion or force. We're creating it as a game object. So instantiate comes next. And then you know what instantiate takes. The object you want to instantiate, along with position and rotation of where from. And we already discussed that that's going to be from the spout. So spout dot position and spout dot rotation. Right? Too easy. What is wrong with this? Unuse of. What's wrong with projectile? Oh, let's give this one an underscore. Yeah, they were just confusing each other. I was really wanted this to be this, but because I was making a new one, it thought I was using the same one. Cool. So now I can access the underscore projectile, which is the one that just spawned. And I can say like a get components. It has a rigid body on it. And then I can add force to that baby right there. Boom. So I'm basically just gonna take the current position of it. And I'm gonna do dot transform dot up. So I can isolate that direction and then times it by a negative value of speed, so it goes down. Now I'm showing you guys so many ways of doing this. Remember, we could have done in the in the platform movement, we did a vector 3 and we just isolate back. There is one for down. So this is an option I could use. So just showing you that, and with programming, it's really what works for you and the situation. You don't always have to stick to one thing, right? Okay, so that script's done. It's not yet on the bullet manager. It's compiling. Alright, it looks like it's ready, so I'll put it on the bullet manager. Let's not forget that we're checking for the the platform to have a tag of plat. So let's create that new tag right here. Add. It was all lowercase. Save. Go back to the platform, and now we should have it there. So it's added. Okay. And then here we're looking for the bullet manager, random spawner. Oops, I added the wrong script to it. We don't need the random spawner on here. Remove that. We need the bullet spawner here. Okay, so transform the spout, which we know the player. This is where we want to shoot the bullets from. And then in the fabs folder is the bullets themselves, which already have the script for them to delete themselves afterwards, right? So now let's play the game and see what happens. I'll go to scene, back to scene. So when the platforms spawn and touches this, it should trigger off that bullet to fire. Huh. What's happening? Oh, no speed. How about 200? I'll have to start and stop again. So we'll say 200 and then play. I like to watch it from here to make sure it's working. So interesting. Is trigger bullet other plat spawning projectile. This is not. Oh, okay. I believe either I'm wrong, but I believe that this might need to have a rigid body on it. Let's just disable the use gravity. Let's try this again. So there were a couple of things wrong. The speed was wrong as well, but I believe it needs a rigid body. I am so out of the Unity practice. Okay, so that's what it is. But now is the other issue. So that's the other issue. That the bullet is just going to hit right into the platform. So if we remove the rigid body from the the little trigger, I believe we can get away with putting it on the platform itself instead, and just disabling the graphic. Just the reverse. One of the objects that's colliding has to have a rigid body, if I'm not mistaken. So let's try that. Now the platform has the rigid body on it. Let's see. Awesome. So it is firing off. This is set to trigger. So I'm not sure why my thing is not going through it. Let's see from here what's happening. Yeah, it's just going. Ah, okay. The other issue. I'm glad we're doing it this way. It's just live. We're making the mistakes. We're learning together. Finally, when the bullet spawns, if I can just get one out and bring it up. Oh, that's not even where it needs to be. 0, what? 2, -4, I think. Perfect. Boom. Right? That is exactly where it's spawned inside the box, which is just causing it to, there's conflict, right? So I need it to actually spawn about right here, right? So first thing I'm going to do is make sure that the spout, the hitbox is turned off. We don't really need it on. And then I will duplicate it and just, PP. Oh, let's call it L. Yeah, PP sounds good. PP. Right, and drag that down to right here and turn off that rendering. And then the new spawn point is actually PP. Turn off the bullet. So what's going to happen is it's going to spawn there. I don't know if you can see it there instead. Let's just go to camera, switch from skybox to just black. Maybe not black. Nice, like, interesting color. Maybe like a yellowish. Alright, so PP right there. You can see the outline of it. That's where it's actually going to spawn, and we want the hitbox to be off. And then also for the spout, so it doesn't like interfere, because the bullet was so big it was interfering with the end of that as well. But we do know that the platform had to have a rigid body on it. Just check the use gravity off so that the trigger will fire off. And I think we are good to go. Let's test this one more time. Here he comes. Boom. That's neat though. That's actually better. Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh, that's so fulfilling. That is so fulfilling. Just take the platform with it. So fulfilling. And then finally, this is set to 200. If they weren't hitting the platform at the right time, you would take your bullet manager, bring it closer so it will trigger it sooner, and maybe the ball will land exactly in the middle. So that's where I would just kind of like watch it here. So you play a thing, go back to scene, watch it, get ready to like pause it. Okay, so that obviously hits maybe center, right? See, I pause it at the exact time, so it's gonna hit about center. So if it triggered off a little sooner, that might work. Or I could increase my speed because I think it drops kind of slow. So I'm going to increase my speed up to about 800 and see what we got. At that point, it might just be missing it, Let's see how it looks. Let's watch it from here, actually. It's not bad. Let's see. We'll wait for one to come down the middle as well. We'll see where it hits. Yeah, like at the front. So to fix that, then we simply move this, like it's happening so quickly that it need the mouth of the platform is going to touch it right there. So the mouth of the platform, if it touches about here, we might be golden. Let's see. I love the way the ball is just taking the platform with you. Oh, destroy. Like, and you can see that right platform, and I think maybe the left. We can bring them in a little bit with the spawn points, right? And that's why we created a spawn point, so like independent. All right, finally get a middle one here. That's about smack center. That's a good speed. And with the spawn point, I was saying, you can see how they're a little bit too far out. The balls are kind of like on the edge. So what you would do here is just like this, right? Just render them back in. Move them a little closer. Adjust it to your likings, and then turn them back off in the rendering, and you're good to go. Technically, you don't need the box gliders on them either. Let me actually pause and then, turn them all off. You don't need box gliders on them either. All right, family. I'm just looking at the time and it's almost 4:30, and I do have a place to run to. So that's so fulfilling. Oh my god. Much better. I do have a place to run to. So the second video, the next video after this, we'll start looking at UI. Okay, we're gonna create like a nice little scoring system. And for the skybox in the demonstration, I simply used something I had downloaded a while back. It's free, and I'll show it to you. Really free. I believe it's free. At least I remember it being free. So it's free at the time of this video. And if it's not, I am so sorry to get your hopes up. But at the time of this video, this is what I downloaded. Farland Skies, give them a shout out. They're awesome. They have a really nice, like a cartoonish background. And it goes well with like animating the skyboxes, so it looks great like it's moving as well. So you guys can always check that out. There is a paid version as well. I think it comes with some more utilities, and then there's other options that you can choose. This is the one I went with, and you guys know how to do that. Don't matter, in the next video I'm going to show you anyways. I just go to your main camera, set this to skybox, and then you have to go to your lighting settings. So it's window, general, rendering, light settings, and then in here we're gonna come in here to do some fog and then skybox in the next video anyways. But in here you can choose the skybox and pick something else. Right now, as you can see, I don't have anything else. But if I download that, when I import that package, I'll have those other stuff to choose from. Then down here, we're gonna have fog, and we're gonna play with that as well. So again, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys achieve up to this point what I did achieve. And I apologize if I talk a little too much. I like explaining things. I actually teach kids for a living. I like explaining things and make sure everyone gets it. And I also wanted to make it quick today, so hopefully I had met the right balance where I wasn't too quick on certain things, and then on others hopefully I wasn't too like drawn out. So hey, you should become a part of this positive and educational channel by hitting that subscribe button. Again, thank you for watching. Have a great day.